for example, what food can you recognize in this picture? Yeah,
Well, paella from Spain,
paella, very good.
sushi from Japan, I think,
Yeah,
pizza from Italy. The other two, I don't know
you
exactly
don't know.
which one.
Okay,
No.
very good. Yeah, the first is paella, no? This is in Spain. You have sushi, you have pizza. And Ada, do you know what are the other two?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in my case, I know paella because I have some friends, Spanish friends, and sushi, another pizza.
so this one, the one that you're seeing here is called shawarma.
Okay,
Shawarma.
okay.
Shawarma is
Indian food.
yeah, more is Arabic food. Arabic. It's Arabic from well in different countries. In for example, I don't know, maybe Turkey, in Morocco, in I don't know, maybe Saudi Arabia, and the other one is falafel. Falafel is also Arab food. No? These are meatballs. So they are very well. I try them. Yeah, it's okay. But I prefer shawarma. For me, shawarma is more delicious than falafel. So this is the typical food. Okay. Now the second question that I want you to eat, I want you to ask you is: do you eat for fuel or for pleasure, or both? So first, what is fuel? Fuel is,
Mm,
let's see,
energy.
energy, to get
For
energy.
energy.
Some people eat because they need the protein, the vitamins for their
Yeah.
activities. Some people eat it for that. Other people, however, they prefer to eat it for pleasure.
For
No?
pleasure.
They only want the delicious food.
Exactly.
So in your case, Ada, what do you prefer? Do you eat for fuel or pleasure or both?
I prefer eat for pleasure
For pleasure.
because this food I think food is is for health and principally for pleasure.
For pleasure, right? What about you, Jose? What about in your case?
Mm,
What do you eat
Well,
for?
well, I think I eat I eat for both sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes for energy because you feel tired and you need to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes for pleasure when I have time, because if
Yeah.
I don't have time, it's
To,
just
to,
for energy.
to get the energy that you need, right?
Yes, yes.
That's true. Okay, excellent. In my case, well, I think that I eat for both. I think from Monday to Friday, I eat for fuel because I need to work, I need to be in a good condition. But on Saturday and Sunday, I eat something that I like. No? Okay, so yeah, that is to eat for fuel or pleasure. No? The first is to eat for because you need the vitamins, proteins for the day, and the second is to eat because you really want to. Is to enjoy. I want you to look at the book, Fuel or Pleasure. Fuel or Pleasure. Okay? So, what kind of food or dishes do you associate with these countries? For example, if we talk about United States, what food comes to your mind or what dishes of food from the
Mm,
United States?
Pizza maybe.
Maybe
Hamburgers.
fast food.
Fast food,
Fast food. Exactly.
hamburgers, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. What we call is also junk food. Junk
Junk food itself.
comida chatarra. Well, American people normally eat junk food, no? Fast food, something that is processed food of fast food. From China, what food do you associate from China? China, what food? Arroz chaufa?
Mm.
I don't know.
I think
A lot.
that a bad example will be bad.
Yeah. Okay. From China, well, Chinese people eat everything. No, they eat monkeys. They eat.
A lot of animals.
A lot of animals. No? They eat spiders. They eat octopus. Yeah, Chinese food is like incredible. From France, what food do you think about when you talk about France? Famous food from France?
Mm,
Ratatouille, teacher.
Yeah, the famous thing, no? The ratatouille, no? Yeah, the ratatouille, very common. Also, the crepes. Crepes?
yes.
Obviously, crepe.
Crepes is a dessert. Or the croissant. The croissant, no? The croissant is also typical from France. Oh, well, Italy obviously is
Pizza.
pizza. What else?
Pasta.
Pasta.
Wine.
Wine, very good. The wine, the noodles. Okay, Japan, we have what food?
Sushi.
Sushi, very good.
Mm,
Makis,
Makis.
Exactly, Malkis.
makis. There is a drink that is very famous from
Sake.
sake, no? Sake. It's like
Sake, sake, sake.
sake is also a famous drink. And finally, from Mexico, what do you think of?
Tacos.
Taquitos.
The tacos, of course, the tacos. No? Read the interview with Alice and Jacqueline, and you have these questions. For example, is food a pleasure for you? Number two, what is the question, Fernando? Can you read the question?
Sorry. What do you normally eat in a typical day?
That's the question. Very good. Daisy, what is number three?
Do you ever cook?
Very good. Do you ever cook? Ada, number four.
Number 4. Do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel about it?
Excellent. Eileen, what about number five?
Are you trying to cut down on anything at the moment?
Perfect. Cut down. Do you understand the word cut down? That means increase or reduce?
Reduce.
Reduce. Excellent. Cut down means to reduce. And finally, Daisy, number 6.
Are people's diets in your country getting better or worse?
Or worse. Very good. Excellent. Are people's diets in your country getting better or worse? So you have these questions and you have to match them with a correct answer. Okay, for example, letter A, let's read. No? I think people are trying to improve their diets, but they are doing it in the wrong way by following diets like the Atkins diet. Personally, I don't think it's very healthy to cut out entire groups of foods like carbohydrates. What is the question for that answer? What do you think? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6?
Number 6.
Yes, number 6.
Number 6.
Are people's diets in your country getting better or worse?
Okay, maybe that's a possibility, yeah. So I want you to read, okay, and then you have to match the answers with the questions, all right? So
Okay.
you have some minutes, and then we check. All right, let's compare now. Let's check the answers. For example, number 1, Fernando, ask question to Daisy. Number 1. Activate your microphone, Jose. Microphone's on. First.
Sorry. Is food a pleasure for you?
Not really. I enjoy certain kind of food, but most meals are just full to keep me going through the day.
Excellent. That's right. Letter F, no? Not really. I enjoy certain kinds of food, but most meals are just fuel to keep me going through the day. Excellent, Daisy. Ada, number 2. Ask question to Eileen.
Okay. Number 2. Eileen, what do you normally eat in a typical day?
I usually have a bowl of cereal and toast for breakfast. For lunch, I eat at a restaurant near my office. I prefer Japanese or Indian food. I usually eat rice with fish and vegetables, salt or sushi. I don't eat milk, but I eat a lot of fish. In the evening, I just have something I like at home.
Perfect. Excellent. Something light at home. What about next? What about Eileen? Ask Fernando, number 3.
And do you ever cook?
Not very often. I don't have the time or talent to cook full meals. I usually heat up a frozen meal or order a takeaway.
Perfect. Excellent. Fernando, ask question number 4 to Daisy.
Okay. Do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel about it?
I am trying to cook down on the amount of fat I eat. I am always trying to eat more wholemeal bread.
Wholemeal bread. What is it? Do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel about it? Letter D? No,
Sí.
letter C.
Mm,
Do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel? Yeah, sometimes, no? Yeah, do you ever eat? Sometimes I get,
yes,
I
that's
get fast food. Can you read letter C, Daisy? Sometimes? Repeat.
yes. Sometimes I get fast food for lunch. I have to admit that I love French fries. I feel terrible about it afterwards, but I don't do it very often.
That's right, that's letter C. Daisy, ask Ada, number 5.
Are you trying to cook down or anything at the moment?
I think people are trying to improve their diets, but they are doing in the wrong way by following diets like the Atkins diet. Personally, I don't think it's very healthy to cut out entire groups of foods like carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates. Okay,
Carbohydrates.
carbohydrates. Okay, good. Are you trying to cut down? I think this is letter E, huh? Yeah, I think it's letter E. Yes, Eileen, that's right. So this is number 5. And finally, Ada asked Eileen, that's number 6.
Yeah. Eileen, are people's diet in your country getting better or worse?
Well, I think people are trying to improve their diets, but they are doing the wrong way by following diets like the Atkins diet. Personally, I don't think it's very healthy to cut down entire groups of foods like carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates. Very good. Excellent. So that's the answer. Okay. Now
Yes.
in this text you have some vocabulary. Okay. For example, heat up. Repeat. Heat up. Heat up.
Heat up.
Heat up. Or heat up. No, in American you said heat up. In British you say heat up, like tea.
Heat up.
Take away. Take away is when you, for example, when you go to McDonald's or Bembos and you don't want to eat in the restaurant, you want to go to your house with the food. That is a takeaway.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Carry on
Your food.
that's my food.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's when you take your food to your house. This is takeaway. Para llevar, mejor dicho, ¿no? Takeaway. Then you have soup. No? Soup. That is, well, for example, chicken soup. Fat, you know what is fat? Wholemeal bread. What is wholemeal? Okay.
Cereal.
Yeah, integral, ¿no? Algo como wholemeal. Wholemeal bread. Como es pan de grano, ¿no? Pan integral. Wholemeal bread. So, heat up, take away, soup, wholemeal bread, fat. Okay, this is the other one. Yeah, this case, we're going to do it very fast, okay, on the spot. I will ask the question, and you have to choose the correct answer. Let's see. Fernando, according to this, is food a pleasure for you?
Yes, definitely. For me, good meals with the family make me happy.
That's all correct. Number 2, Eileen, what do you normally eat in a typical day?
Maybe can be F teacher.
Okay, can you read?
I am quite traditional and I have 3 main meals a day. For breakfast, I like the hot chocolate, bread and butter with honey or ham. For lunch, I often eat at a restaurant with my colleagues. I usually have a vegetable, but meat or fish, but I love pasta and rice too. In the afternoon, I have fruit with biscuits or a piece of chocolate. In the evening, I have a proper meal with my family.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's correct. What about, do you ever cook? For example, Aida, do you ever cook?
Yes, I cook every evening for my family. I often make soup or traditional French fries like beau bourguignon,
Oh yeah, Boeuf bourguignon. It's a French name.
bourguignon,
Bourguignon.
which is a kind of, of
Beef
beef and red wine
stew.
stew, and then we have cheese and salad.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, that's it, huh? What about the next number 4? For example, Wilman, do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel about it?
Sometimes I get fast food for lunch. I have to admit that I love French fries. I feel terrible about it afterwards, but I don't do very often.
Excellent. I think that's the answer. And what about next? Next is, are you trying to cut down on anything at the moment, Fernando?
Yes, I'm trying to eat less chocolate.
Perfect. I'm trying to eat
Letter
less
B.
chocolate.
Mhm.
Letter B. And finally, Eileen, are people's diet in your country getting better or worse?
I think people's diets are getting worse and worse. It's quite strange because we have a lot of information now about how bad fast food is for you. I'm afraid it's a problem in a lot of European countries.
That's right. Perfect. Okay. Here you have other vocabulary as well. You have dishes. Okay. Repeat dishes. Dishes like boeuf bourguignon.
Dishes.
You have a stew.
Dishes.
Dishes. A stew. A stew is, what is a
Stew.
stew?
I don't know.
Stew is, for example, un guiso. Guiso. Then you have portions. Portions means
Portion.
the quantity of food. No? A big portion, a small portion. For example, I eat a small portion. Okay? Next, eat out. Well, when you go to a restaurant, you eat out. Honey, you know, what the bees produce.
Yeah.
And jam, well, jam is the marmalade, jam. So you have this vocabulary. Now, you're going to practice the questions with your partner, okay? These are the questions that I want you to discuss together. Is food a pleasure for you? Yes, no, why? What do you normally eat in a typical day? Do you ever cook? Do you ever eat unhealthy food? How do you feel about it? Are you trying to reduce or cut down on anything at the moment? Are people's diet in your country getting better or getting worse? Right? What do you have to answer them with the person that you're going to work with. So,
In the night, I prefer to drink a milk or chocolate. In your case,
But in my case, in the morning, I usually drink orange juice. In the lunch, the typical, papas, rice, chicken, or maybe a soup. And in the dinner, bread with avocado.
so you said for dinner, for breakfast, I eat that.
Well,
Repeat.
and Daisy, do you ever cook?
I actually I don't cook because I don't a lot of time for my for my my job. But I usually prepare some roast beef sandwich with juice and salad. Uh, Really, my mother is my mother cook in my. How about you? What about you, Jose Fernando? Do you ever cook?
Yes. As I told Ada, normally my father and I take turns to cook because he works during the day. He goes out, so I normally prepare lunch and dinner, and he prepares breakfast. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
What do you normally eat in a typical day, Wilman?
To be honest, the food, no, depend the food.
the Peruvian food is delicious for me.
What kind of food do you like? Mm,
Um, I like to eat ceviche, ceviche, desserts, some desserts, for example, a chocolate cake.
On toast. In the lunch, normally, as you mentioned, I eat rice, chicken, maybe some salad, maybe if I'm in a good day. And in dinner, I normally drink tea and maybe some eggs.
Excellent, Jose. Just remember that when you mention the meals, you normally say for lunch,
Ah,
for breakfast, and for dinner.
four. Okay,
For
okay,
lunch,
Okay,
okay.
do you ever cook?
example, now I eat 3 eggs,
Yeah,
three
three.
breeds, yeah, yeah, three breeds, yeah, with
Yeah,
milk, no,
yeah.
milk with coffee. Uh, well, well, okay, and the number 3 is, do you ever cook?
Obviously, I am a mother, a power mom in my home.
Ah, well, it's good. That's great. It's
Yes,
good that the woman cook.
yes, yes, it's important.
It's
Obviously,
important in the life,
in
yeah,
this, obviously in this moment, obviously
yeah.
for
Uh,
us, for our family. Yes, it's very important.
yeah, for example, in my case, do you ever cook? Well, I don't know. I don't know cook. I don't know cook.
Oh, really?
Why?
You don't know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, bless my soul. Why?
Well, it is my job. In my job, well,
I don't like cook because
Have you ever cooked?
I don't have uh, I don't have I don't have time for this activity due to my work is in mine. I work in the mining industry, uh, but sometimes I prepare some roast beef sandwich and roasted chicken sandwich with salad, with orange juice or papaya juice, with some cookies or biscuits.
Learn to cook more because as they are at their homes, they have to cook more. But now that the restaurant have open, they are buying delivery food or maybe takeout.
Take
What
away,
do you
no?
think about? Yes. What do you think about
I think the
like,
same, but most people are getting worse because of the increasing in the consumption, maybe for the deliveries. The people increase to eat the junk food because they think maybe it's more easy.
mhm, yes, yes, that's true. If it is easier, they do it more often than they should do.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
did you
That's all? You finished the
finish?
question?
Yes.
Yes. We have.
Excellent.
No, such as roasted chicken.
anything at the moment.
Cut down. I don't understand this phrase. Cut
Uh,
down. I don't
Cut,
remember
cut
at the
down means
moment.
reduce. To reduce.
Sorry, reviews.
Reduce. Reduce.
Everything.
Ah,
To cut down.
reduce.
Reduce.
Cut down. I understand. Yeah.
To
Well,
cut down. I mean to eat less.
at the moment, I think for bread only bread, and I don't know, grasas.
fats, no? I'm cutting down on,
Fats.
I'm cutting down on fats.
Fats.
I'm cutting down on bread,
And that's it. Bread.
on
Bread and
carbohydrates, no?
fat. Yes. And
All right, we're going to check some vocabulary. Do you remember the vocabulary that we saw? Just to review, what is the verb? Heat up. No, what is heat up? When you want to, I don't know, when the food is cold, you have to heat it up. And for that, you use the microwave, or you can do it in the cook, no? In the cooker, sorry.
O sea, como calentado.
Calentar, exactly, no? To heat up. Takeaway is the food that you take to your homes. Takeaway food. Soup, you know, the pronunciation is soup. Whole meat, whole meals. Whole meal bread, yeah, is pan integral, no? Fat, you know. Dishes, for example, ceviche, ají de gallina. Stew, a stew is when you prepare el guiso, no? Stew. Portions, the quantity of food, eat out, and honey. For example, I want you to tell me, you can activate your microphone or you can chat, you can type in the chat box. For example, number 1, to have a meal in a restaurant, not at home. What is it?
Take away.
Take away? No.
Oh, sorry.
Take away.
Eat out.
Eat out. Eat out. To have a meal in a restaurant, not at home, is eat out.
Sorry, yes.
For example, do you usually eat out? Do you often eat out? Yes?
Yes, I
Yes.
nice only some.
Okay, good. Excellent, Eileen. Number 2, a sweet food made by bees, which people often eat on bread. What is that?
Honey.
Is this
Honey?
Honey, very good. Honey. Honey. That's honey. Do you like
bread?
you like honey?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good, no? Honey
Delicious.
is delicious. And also, if you have a flu, you can drink hot tea with a lot of honey, and you can feel better. Number 3, example, Fernando, can you read the quantity?
The quantity you eat of a kind of food during a meal.
The quantity of food. What is that?
Portion.
Portion. Very good. The portion you eat. Next, Daisy, number 4.
To make cold food hot.
To make cold food hot.
Heat up. Heat up.
No.
Heat up. Very good. To heat up. Eileen, number 5.
Take away food you buy from a restaurant to eat at home.
Very good. That is takeaway.
Take away.
Takeaway. Number 6, Wilman.
Food from animals or plants used for cooking, example, oil, butter, is
This?
Fat.
Fat. Fat, no? John, number 7.
Food prepared in a particular way, e.g. sushi, lasagne, song.
Dishes?
Dishes, very good. Dish. That's a dish. Made from brown flour. What was that? Whole
Wholemeal.
meal bread. Whole meal bread. Whole meal bread. That's wholemeal bread. And finally, can you read please, Ada?
Number 9.
Yes.
A liquid food often made of vegetables, e.g. tomatoes, onions.
A liquid food. Would you like to?
Soup.
Stew.
Soup.
Stew.
Soup. Stew.
Stew, no? Stew, el guiso.
Okay.
No? And finally,
Guiso.
meat cooked for a long time. What is it? Meat cooked for a long time is? It was okay, Ada.
Teacher, you can cook. You know cook.
I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
You
That's
don't
okay.
know cook.
Yeah. Yeah. That number 9 was soup.
Yeah.
Soup.
That's soup because this is onion vegetable, and number 10 is stew.
Stew. Mhm.
That's right. I was my mistake. It's okay. Excellent. So we have this vocabulary. I want you also to show you other vocabulary related to, for example, you can use this vocabulary related to food. For example, number 1 is dine in. What is dine in? Dine at home. All right. So if someone asks you, hey Maria, what are you doing? Oh, I'm dining in. So I mean I'm having or I'm eating at home. No, dining in means to eat at home. And what is the opposite? To dine out. We're dining out tonight. That means that you're going to go to a restaurant to eat. Right? Repeat: dine in, dine out.
Dining, dine out.
Dine out.
Dine in, dine out.
Dine out. Okay. Do you prefer to dine in or to dine out?
I prefer dine in.
Like
Okay.
this day,
Dine at
then
home. It's better.
It's better, right? It's more comfortable. Yeah, it's cheaper. It's healthier.
Obviously cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper. Yeah. Okay, that is dine in, dine out. Number 3 is a fussy eater. Who is a fussy eater? Can you read, Fernando?
yes. Someone who is very picky about the food and doesn't eat everything.
Okay, that is a fussy eater. It's someone who is very special about food. No? Oh, does it have tomatoes? Sorry, I don't like tomatoes. Okay, it's a fussy eater. Do you know people like that? Yeah, they're fussy eater. For example,
My daughter is
Yes.
fussy eater.
okay. For example, Daisy, can you read an example? My husband.
My husband is a fussy eater and he's never plays with my cooking.
Yeah, he's never pleased with my cooking, no? I mean, he's very picky, no? Very selective with food. That is a fussy eater. Okay, then you have home-cooked food. That means food cooked at home. Usually implies that the food is healthy. For example, Wilman, can you read?
Preparing home-cooked food is a good way to make a balanced meal.
Balanced meal, no? Preparing home-cooked food is a good way to make a balance. That is home-cooked food. What about next? Eileen, next, can you read?
Yes, in a walking distance of close to, I usually dine at the restaurant that's in walking distance of my home.
Okay. Yeah, that means very near, no? In a walking distance. For example, I live in a walking distance to the water park. So I mean, I live very near to or close to, in a walking distance of. For example, Ada, where do you live? Can you tell me where do you live? And is in a walking distance of?
Okay, for instance, I live in a walking distance of Plaza Norte
Okay.
to 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Very close, right?
Yeah.
Very good. So you live in a walking distance to Plaza Norte.
Teacher, this is the same near to?
Yeah, it's a synonym, near to. You can use as near to.
Yeah.
You want to say near to, you said in a walking distance of.
In a walking distance.
O sea, es un, yeah, cerca a, ¿no? Una distancia cercana a. Okay.
In a
Next.
walking sorry.
Yes, Daisy, yes, continue. What is the
In a walking distance of is a formal word or not?
It's a phrase, not necessarily formal.
Okay.
It's only a phrase. It's a phrase that you can use for in a walking distance of.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, or next is Italian cuisine. No, the cuisine is a food. No, traditional Italian food is Italian cuisine. You can also say the French cuisine. I love Russian cuisine. Cuisine.
Cuisine.
I adored. Repeat. I adored.
I adore. I adore.
Pasta.
Pasta,
Pasta.
pizza, and Italian cuisine in general.
Very good. Cuisine. No?
Cuisine.
Cuisine. Next, more of a chore than a pleasure. What is more of a chore than a pleasure?
Mm.
Something you do rather and with. It's more a chore than a pleasure. Es más un trabajo que un placer, ¿no? Más una carga que un placer. Es algo así. More of a chore than a pleasure. For example, I think cooking is more of a chore than a pleasure. Mhm. For some women, no? Cooking is more of a chore than a pleasure. Yeah. For example, yeah. For example, in my case, I think teaching is more a pleasure than a chore. No?
Then
Okay.
I can say the opposite. No? For me, teaching is more a pleasure than a chore. Or the opposite is more a chore than a pleasure. Okay? Okay, that's more a chore of the pleasure. Pleasure. Then you have mouth watering. Mouth watering is delicious. Something that is appetizing. That is mouth watering. For example, what food for you is mouth watering?
ceviche.
Okay, ceviche is mouth watering.
Ceviche is mouth watering
Mouth watering.
for me.
Okay. For you,
Teacher, this
Stacy?
sorry, this apply in the drink?
That's a good question. For example, you can say, yeah, I think it's if my mouth is, or you can use my mouth is watering every time I drink, I don't know, or I eat something. All right.
Okay.
So you can use as an adjective or as a noun. Okay, my mouth is watering every time I eat ceviche, every time I drink something. Okay, and finally, nutritious products. You have this vocabulary. Okay, repeat: dine in,
Dining.
dine out,
Dine out,
fussy eater,
fussy eater,
home cooked food,
Home
home cooked food,
in a walking distance of,
a walking distance of
Italian cuisine,
Italian.
Italian
more
cuisine,
of a chore than a pleasure,
more short than a pleasure,
More than a pleasure.
mouth watering.
mouth watering,
My mouth is watering,
My
mouth
mouth
is
watering.
and nutritious products.
nutritious products.
Okay, you have to find someone who does this. Someone who often eats in restaurants. Someone who often eats quite a lot of sweet things. For example, desserts, chocolates, etc. Someone who eats ready prepared food. For example, a Ginomed.
Okay.
Someone who cooks big meals at home. Someone who enjoys eating. Someone who feels bad when she eats unhealthily. Someone who's trying to eat less of something. Someone who prefers having good food to having a lot of food. And someone who is negative about eating habits in her country. Right? You have to ask the question to your partner. So, Jose, what do we have to do? Can you repeat?
We have to answer the questions
Mm-hmm.
of our partners.
Very good. Jose, do you often eat in restaurants?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay, sometimes only.
Sometimes
Okay.
only, yes.
So I put Jose here. No, because he said no. I have to find someone who often eats in restaurants. For example, Wilman, do you often eat in restaurants?
Yes, yes, I eat. I nearly always eat out.
Okay, very good. I nearly always eat out. So I put here Wilman. Okay. I put the name of the person who often eats in restaurant, eats quite a lot of food. Okay. You take notes in a piece of paper. Do you often? No? You said, do you often? The question is, do you often?
Do you often eat in restaurants?
Ada, yes?
Well, in my case, sometimes because for
Cake. I prefer to eat candies. And you?
Yes, sometimes I eat sweet things. Not a lot, maybe, but
Well, in my case, not at all, because I prefer the home food. It's correct, teacher.
Yes, sorry?
It's correct to say home food or la comida de casa.
Homemade food.
Homemade food. I
Homemade,
prefer homemade food.
homemade food.
Do you eat quite a lot of sweet things? Sweet things.
Sometimes I eat sweets. Depend the situation.
Sometimes I eat a little dulce, but in general, no. Okay, hardly ever I eat.
Okay.
Okay, the number 3 is it's ready. Prepare your food.
It's ready.
It's ready. Prepare your food. ¿Comes comida preparada?
I don't like this type of food because I prefer cook the food at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I prefer fresh food.
That's good. Okay. Well, in my case, I don't like.
Back when she eats unhealthily,
When you eat
when you eat
unhealthy,
unhealthily.
normally at first I feel good because I eat it, but after I feel maybe bad. Do you?
In my case, yes. Yes, I think many people eat healthy food, or many people should eat healthy food.
But you feel bad during while you are eating or after you eat?
Sometimes I prepare uh, some roasted beef sandwich or egg sandwich with bread. Uh, to add, I prepare uh, raspberry juice, papaya juice, uh, different kinds of juice and coffee. Uh, but I don't cook dishes such as main courses in general. What about you?
Well, in my honest opinion, note, we only mix and meals at home when just to celebrate something, for example, birthdays. Do you enjoy eating?
Yes, I enjoy different foods in my country, but in uh, as I am from Cajamarca, I like spice guinea pig is a dish especially in Cajamarca. Um, Sincerely, the dish is in Peruvian is picante de cuy, no? Is my favorite in my I enjoy I really enjoy uh, eating.
Unhealthy, unhealthily. ¿Te sientes mal cuando comes algo que no es saludable?
When I eat uh, unhealthy food,
Unhealthy food, yeah, unhealthy food. No?
it depends. Sometimes I don't know. For example, fat because it's not good for me.
But
Because maybe people is getting used to buy a lot of takeout food instead of cooking. Maybe because of the time of the amount of time they have to cook, they prefer to do it. What do you think is negative about eating habits in your country?
So I think Many people mm, should not delivery food because people try to cook in their home.
Okay.
They should
So
try it.
people should cook more in their homes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay.
yes. And other
Difficult for me for this reason.
Huh?
And do you
Ah.
prefer having good food or to having a lot of food?
Sincerely, I prefer, I nearly always prefer um, having good food because it's nutrient is most nutrient foods
Nutritious because
than
it's nutritious.
uh,
Nutritious.
nutrition, no?
Nutritious.
Claro, a lot of food, no? What about you?
Well, in my honest opinion, I prefer having a good food for the quality, no?
Mhm.
It's negative about eating habits in your country.
Okay. Are you negative, no?
Okay, okay.
Are you negative about
Uh-huh.
the eating habits in Peru or positive about the eating habits? Do you think the eating habits in Peru are good or bad? We have good or bad eating habits.
I think the food in my country is in good habits because here in my country,
Yeah.
I prefer eat little food because well I can't at night when I eat too much food